yo, what's going on? This is the NOC, the Nerds of Color, and we are back with another Show Pal Show. I am Kuya P, aka Patrick Michael Strange, the leader of the Holla Holla Homies and the Cine Gang Gang, but representing always and holding it down for everyone is the amazing Ates, Cataphoric, and Viva Valentina. How are you, ladies?
Hey, doing good.
It's a pleasure to see y'all. Always puts a smile on my face when I see you guys because, you know, we're living in crazy times. So thank you for your time and working with the brother to just make our dreams happen and enlighten and show the world these amazing Filipinos that are out there, you know?
Absolutely. I can't imagine being on this cultural journey with anyone else.
Yes. Love you guys. Mahakita. Salamat. All right, here we go. For this guest we have today, as we started this podcast and we were trying to find out about ourselves, I started to look to see if there were others out there like us, and came across a bunch of West Coast podcasts. Didn't really see us, so I think we're still kind of repping for the East Coast with what we're doing, so that's pretty cool. But also just discovering amazing Filipinos that are out there, that are holding it down, that are doing and representing for the culture. And when I came across the Lola and Kenneth collection and checked out the story, which we're going to talk about, just let me say I shed tears, man. I'm so sensitive nowadays. It was probably around the same time, I think, Ates, that we saw that that Disney UK episode with the, you know, Malaga and Pasco with the Star Lanterns, and you know how we were bawling about that, right? So here I have Kenneth Tan and the Lola and Kenneth collection, like nonstop, just flowing, like calling my mom, calling everybody. Because unfortunately my Lola had passed, but just like, Mom, I miss Lola and I miss everybody, miss you know, just crying. Because, you know, it's been a traumatic year, you know, so yeah. I just am loving his story and I can't wait for him to tell it and just to learn about him and his story. Let's bring him on, y'all. Kenneth Tan of the Lola and Kenneth collection. What's up? Air horns.
I was gonna say I'm so used to doing my own low budget.
Hey.
Hey.
Salamat, thank you for coming on, man. You are amazing, and we're so appreciative for you to join us.
Oh no, mucho salamats to you too. I'm happy. I'm really happy that Dante Bosco canceled so I could be here. Thank you. Thanks for throwing me one, Dante. So I'm really excited.
We'll tell him
you don't know how real you are about that, by the way.
Oh, actually, really?
Yeah. And funny story, we're actually filming with him tomorrow as the date of this recording.
Yeah, so we will actually literally tell him you said hi. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's great. Rufio. Tell him I said that.
I will tell him that you said that specifically. It's going to be the whole podcast.
He's never said that
us floating things back to him. Yeah. He's going to be like, what the?
Yeah.
So welcome, man. It's such a pleasure to have you. I'm going to throw it to Viva Valentina to kick it off. Here we go.
Okay.
So we always like to know, where are you from? But like, where are your parents from? Where are you really from?
Yeah, I love that question. I ask my white friends that. In exactly that tone, and they get it. They're like, no. I'm like, where are you from? They're like, Kansas. No, but like, where are you from?
Yeah.
They're like, huh?
And the next one is, where are your parents from? Like, oh,
gotcha.
Parents are here too. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, she'll be right here. She's gonna give me like a Cool Whip container full of adobo. She'll just be here in like a second.
Oh my god.
So I guess first question to answer your questions. First question one, I'm from San Jose, or specifically like East San Jose, California, which is different. Like, so I don't know, out here we kind of say like, there's a joke like, what do owls say in San Jose? You know, like whoo. What do owls in East San Jose say? What? So,
oh my god, that's cute.
So I'm from East San Jose. Where am I from? I come from my mom and my Lola, and they come from the Philippines, and we're Ilocano. We're from Pangasinan. Oh wait, are you serious?
My mom is Ilocano, yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the only other dialect. She spoke Tagalog, and she barely spoke, but like understood more Ilocano.
Wow, that's the same with my family. Yeah, I think like, yeah, Ilocanos, I feel like if you ask Ilocanos like, oh, are you Filipino? Sometimes they'll be like, no, I'm Ilocano, you know?
Yeah. There's like a weird, like, you'll know when they're Ilocano. Like,
It will let you know.
they'll let you,
Ilocano.
exactly. They'll let you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're from Pangasinan, the village Villieses, which I think is like 2.5 hours north of Manila. Probably longer if you're like riding a cart, or I don't know. You know?
On the side.
On the side. We have
I've never been
strong arms. Ilocanos have strong arms. We're hanging onto that cart.
That's awesome. I've never found out what my mom. I know she's from Cavite City, is where my mom is from, but I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
is that the Ilocano? That's like the region type aspect of it.
Yeah, Ilocano,
Okay.
we're like northern, like north
Gotcha.
of Manila.
Okay.
Cavite, I hear that's a thing. I've heard that.
Okay. So yeah, Cavite City
That's the
is.
flavor Filipino you are.
what flavor? I like that.
Awesome.
You know?
So, were you born here? You said, I think.
Yeah. I was born
Okay.
here. Yeah, I was born here. My sister was born in Canada. What? How? And then,
So let's talk about that story. So, like, how? Yeah, when they came here, why did they come here? And and when you were born and your sister.
yeah. Whoa. Let's take it back. So my Lola, I come from like a farming family, which I think is pretty common among like Ilocanos specifically. Like that's why a lot of us are in Hawaii apparently, because we're farming people. So a lot of Ilocanos, if you go to Hawaii, you can just call any lady auntie because they're Ilocana. They'll take good care of you. But yeah, so I come from a farming family. My Lola, she worked a lot of different hustles. Growing up, they farmed. She sold food on the side of the road. During World War II, she was selling peanuts on the side of the road to Japanese soldiers. She was a cashier at the grocery. So she wanted a better life, I guess, obviously, from my mom and my aunt. And she was raising them on her own in the Philippines. So she did all these hustles to put my mom through nursing school. I guess she'd heard around town like, oh, this is a good job. This is a really unique story. There aren't a lot of Filipino nurses. So bear with me. I'm just going to explain this for you.
Like,
Yeah, it's very unique. So my mom, my grandma put my mom through nursing school, and then eventually she got her first job in Canada. She had her girls there, like a little group of Filipina nurses. And
Toronto.
No, Montreal actually, but there are a lot of us in Toronto.
Yeah.
So the other one, so Montreal.
Okay.
And so my mom eventually she brought my Lola over to Montreal. And my Lola, she saw this group of Filipina ladies, and she was like, "This village needs a queen." And she like took care of all their babies. They started having babies, and she would like babysat all of them and did all the cooking for this little village. Took breaks to adjust her crown, and then eventually my sister was born there, and then my mom and my grandma moved over here to California, and I was born here.
Just everybody's Lola. That's amazing.
She was just everyone's Lola in their that Joyla club of Filipinas.
that's
So
gorgeous.
talk about growing up in Cali and how that was. How old were you when you moved to Cali?
Well, I was 0. So
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
like super fresh.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't know anything about Canada. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, so I kicked the party off here. What was it like growing up here? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty diverse out here. I don't know. Is the East Coast? You guys, it's pretty diverse over there too. Yeah, where you're at? Virginia?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. Right. So
Our specific areas are. I'll put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Hampton Roads is a huge Filipino hotspot. It's very diverse. We're like super military town with the shipyard and all the bases. And then Patrick's up in Northern Virginia.
And around DC, and there's a
area.
good diversity there too.
Oh, yeah.
But everything in between, not so much.
That's true. Because I grew up on military bases, so being on a military base is diverse. But if you go outside of that, then yeah, totally.
Gotcha. I learned that rule at a young age. Like I need to know where my pockets are that I can stick to big cities. Right. Yeah. Okay. Good to know when the next time I roll through Virginia. Cool. Yeah. So I guess it's pretty much similar here. It's pretty diverse. You see a few people that look like you at school. I had that whole, all those same experiences maybe a lot of us had. My mom sent me to school with that Cool Whip container and it had adobo in it.
How did that make you feel? Because when did you realize you were different as compared to everybody else, and how did that make you feel?
And I'm just kind of realizing this as we're talking. I don't think I would have known I was different unless other people made me feel different.
Okay.
Because you open up that Cool Whip container and they're like, what is that? What is that? So I feel like being made to feel other, it kind of requires someone else to make you feel that way. I would have been in La La Land, like thinking like, oh, we're all just kids. Unless I might have been made to feel other. But at the same time, of course, obviously you look around and like, oh, my nose is a bit different than everyone else's, or you go to say, you're like, oh, you don't take your shoes off in the house. Interesting choice, so interesting choice. Enjoy that disease you get. Yeah. I remember in high school, I was doing a group project with my buddy and I went over to his house and he lived in the hills. And why do rich people always live in hills? So what is that? So I went to his house in the hills doing this group project, and like maybe it came around to like 6 p.m. I was still there, and the mom like shuffled through the living room and she was like, oh, you're still here. We're just, making dinner. I guess you're going to be here for dinner. And I was like, with us, I feel like food is like a yes. Yeah. Like I didn't pick up that was like a please go home. I was like, oh yeah, dinner. Thank you so much. So we sat down for dinner, and I remember I was like, okay, when's the food coming out? They brought out, each person had like a plate. Like, the food came out and it was like, I had my own plate. There was chicken, nothing's touching each other. There were like potatoes, something bougie, like, I don't know, couscous or something, something like that. Nothing was touching. And then I finished and I was like, okay. And that was it. And I remember going home and being like, Mom, like,
that was culture.
I was like, you will never believe how they eat. Everyone gets a plate. And then that's it. That's it. You just get a plate. Because at home we eat from the middle. I don't know how it is here, right? Mm-hmm. The community thing. Food is a community thing. The food hits the table and we're all eating from. You take from the middle.
You make a plate for babies.
There it is, baby. Yeah. You make a plate for babies. So that blew my mind. So I guess in a nutshell, that was growing up in San Jose.
Awesome. So then no real racial incidents then, I would assume then.
Oh, for sure. Oh, okay.
So let's get into that. That.
We like the spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. One of my earliest memories actually is my mom. So my mom ended up, she worked at Stanford growing up. So that was our hospital, like that Palo Alto clinic. Other brands are available. Growing up, she took us to that clinic. And I remember maybe I was like 4. One of my earliest memories, we're standing in line, I just seen the pediatrician. We're standing in line to pay. And the people behind us just, the receptionist or the person working the desk just kept calling people from behind us. And, we were just standing there and we were just seeing like, oh, these people keep getting, serviced ahead of us. They get to go ahead and pay. And my mom, I remember I don't even remember what she said. She walked up to the counter. She said something. My mom's really quiet usually. So this was very strange for me to see her behaving and, to see her angry or anything like that. She said something to the lady, and then she took my hand and we started to leave. And it's one of my earliest memories. And I said, what, Mom, what's going on, or maybe something like that. And I remember she told me, they're not helping us because we're different. This is therapy. That just surfaced now. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah. Is there a copay for this? This is good. Thank you for bringing that back. Yeah.
They only charge you when you flip it on us.
Yeah. Then I need damages.
Yeah. There it is. You got to pay. Yeah. Hit that deductible. Yeah, that's one of my earliest memories. So.
Oh. So they just let y'all leave?
I know. Did we get a freebie out of that? Actually,
yeah. So she was like, "Oh hell no. Okay, bye."
Yeah. I had a Groupon anyways. I don't know. Yeah.
Sometimes I bring that up because it all builds to your journey and then what you choose to do in your life. And as an actor, like I've taken from certain experiences. So let's get into something back now positive. What were some of the things you were into as a kid and then going into a teenager?
Okay, so as a kid, I love everything that's happening in that room behind you. Like, I want to dive into it. I want to do like the McScrooge money swim and everything behind you. I'm like, woo! Because that is my childhood back there. I was definitely a Marvel kid. I grew up on that old school the X-Men. And I was a Jim Lee, like that whole 90s X-Men thing. I was all about it. So when I was a kid, I wanted to either be a comic book artist, a Power Ranger, or Usher's backup dancer. Like those, I was like, okay.
They're all really good choices.
Those are all like super Filipino.
Yeah, also really Filipino. Yeah,
Very Filipino. Same.
Yeah, right. So so that was what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I really like to draw. I learned to draw because let's see, it's my sister, and then I have 3 cousins, all girls, and so I'm really good at listening. So they're older too, so they were like, my big sisters. But one of them, Michelle, she took high school drawing, and I remember she would come home and I would see these things that she drew, and I was so amazed. Like, someone can do that with your own hands. Like she really, it looks like a photo. And I remember don't tell. She's not gonna. I just won't tell her I did this, but like I would like draw on top of them because I was like so fascinated. I'd be like, oh, whoa, to try and copy it. So that really got me into drawing. I would draw on everything. I drew on the floor, the wall. I took the growth chart down from the wall. I drew on the back of that. Drove my mom crazy. And then when I was a little bit older, at the library, I learned to draw by going to the library, and every time I would check out a book, and it was those things that were like, step 1, draw a line. Step 2, an owl.
Yeah. Just fill in the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite step.
But yeah. That 1.5 is tricky, but once you get to 2. So that's how I learned to draw. But I remember one day after my mom would take us there after school, and on the way out, they had a bargain bin, or like a damaged book bin. So I would go through that, and I remember I found a copy of I should have grabbed it. I found a copy of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And
my Bible.
Every day I'm like, Our Father Stanley, hallowed be thy name. Yeah, that's the New Testament. I think that's the Ecclesiastes. But I took it home. It's missing pages. Like I just learned going through that there's like chapters that I'd never learned, which explains a lot about how I draw. I never draw hands. Yeah, because I never learned the Marvel way. So I took that home. Like, it's in sections, like it's out of order. There are pages missing, but I took it home because I was like, oh, I love Marvel comics. I love X-Men. And I took it home and I devoured that, and I would practice drawing everything out of that. And that's really how I learned to draw.
Awesome. I love it. All right. So you had dreams of being Usher's backup dancer, a comic artist.
Yes. As you can see, I achieved everything. No.
But what did your mom, because like we have dreams to do this. And my story is very much like the story of Dante's the debut. He wanted to be a comics creator, but his parents pushed him to become a doctor. They want us in professions where we're making a lot of money, but discouraged our, what we actually wanted to do. Did that happen to you, and how was that?
Yeah, my story, again, so unique. My mom wanted me to be a doctor. Such a unique story. Really, I'm glad that you can appreciate it. My mom wanted me to be like a doctor or a nurse or something, maybe an engineer or a lawyer.
Exactly.
Right. So, but she did it, I've talked to her about it, and I understand her now. Really, they do that to us because of what, where they come from. And the lives that they led, where they come from. And it really helped to understand her story. And all she really, really wanted was me to have a good life and to make sure I was okay. And that, I don't know, understanding that, has really helped. I think it just in terms of healing, right, and understanding, you know, why she pushed me in that direction. I feel like I'm playing catch up now. I feel like now I'm starting to try and do things that I really love to do. So I always feel like I'm playing catch up. You know, I have to make up for lost time. But I absolutely appreciate my mom, because at the end of the day, you know, she just wanted what was best for me, to make sure her kids were okay.
Totally. Yep. That's it, man. I feel you. It's that love-hate thing with that, you know? So let's go to college. So choosing your degree. So did you choose the degree she wanted you to do? And I know this is going to now lead us to the whole Lola and Kenneth collaboration because of what occurred, but let's start from there. So you chose, what degree did you pursue when you decided to go?
Yeah. So when I got to college, I ended up in public health. And that was kind of a compromise. Like I think I knew in like my heart of hearts, I was not going to be a doctor. I tried. I'm not the brightest lantern at the festival. Like I'm not smart enough. I knew it. And then the school I went to was really competitive. So I just knew I wouldn't cut it. But I knew I maybe wanted to do something that would maybe help people. So I thought, so public health was kind of a compromise. Like I knew maybe it would do a little bit of good, and it was health related at least. So maybe that would make my mom happy. So that's what I ended up studying. But secretly I always wanted to like take, you know, a drawing class or something, you know, on the side a little bit. But yeah, I ended up doing public health.
All right. So 2014 rolls along, and what was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2014 rolled around, I moved to LA. My sister's in SoCal now, so I moved down there. I was working at USC. Other brands are available, and I was so USC. I was helping. Like you said, you're an actor, so I was actually helping actors buy their kids and educate. No, I'm just kidding. Buy their way into school. No, I'm just kidding. At USC, I was working on like public. I was doing like graphic design for anti-tobacco campaigns, like
Like campaign
stuff like that. Other brands are available.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm doing stuff like that, and then you know, one day I was there for almost a year, I think, and one day my mom called, and she said that she was getting knee surgery, and you know, at the time she was just, you know, with my Lola. Alone, it was just the two of them, and you know, my Lola and my mom, they raised me, so I thought, you know, of course I'm gonna come home, of course. So I left my job and I came back home, and yeah, and I've kind of been here since.
And it was to take care of her while she was, you know, just
Healing,
needing
yeah.
the assistance beyond just your mom's assistance. And from the story that you know, she to deal with everything, or just, you know, was to start painting, is from what I recall, or give her life purpose. If you can.
Sorry. Tina, did you have a question?
You said you moved back home to take care of your mom. Do you feel like that you had the responsibility as the only son to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. So I moved back home to help my mom care for my Lola, and absolutely, I think just as a grandchild, just as maybe even as a Filipino American, as a Filipinx American, it's what we do. You know, I think that's something special about us. We don't leave anyone behind. You know, my Lola would say, you know, my Lola used to tell me, this country, America, is so funny. The kids here, they grow up and then they move far away and they start their lives on their own. And I think as Filipinos, you know, I feel like Ilocanos, we're known for our weaving, I think, is one of the things we do. And I think of us like a banig, you know, those mats. And I feel like as Filipinos, we live our lives. Our lives are our own. We're each a strand, but we weave our stories together as families. And so, of course, you know, I'm going to come home. We're stronger together when we're woven. And you know, my Lola raised me, my mom raised me. And of course, you know, I tried that. I moved far away. I did all of that. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do. Like I finished school, I moved far away, and I tried to start my life far away from home. And I was so unhappy. And moving home, you know, I realized, you know, my Lola, the life I have now, everything I have, it's because of her. And I am more myself than I've ever been before because of her. I needed her to be everything that I wanted to be. Yeah. So of course, that's why I moved home.
So beautiful.
Sorry, I'm starting early.
Yeah, no, what? Woo! Man, we knew we were gonna cry on this one. So I apologize for bringing you there. I think it's so special, and you are such a good son, and just to have done that, to support your mother, to support your Lola is just so beautiful. And just like you said, that's what we do. That's what our people do. We don't just let them go. We take care of our family, and I'm so inspired and just so amazed by your story. It's so beautiful, man.
I think all of us can relate to that in some deeply uncomfortable personal way. So you do get charged that copay, actually.
Yeah. Send me the invoice. I got you. Yeah. Do you take Venmo? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But no, I wasn't always perfect. I definitely tried to be the best, son and grandson that I could be. It wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. I remember one day, I was helping my Lola into bed, tucking her in, and I got her into bed, and she was lying down, and she said, "How long?" And I said, "Oh, like how long? What, Lola?" And she said, "Your patience." And and I told her, always, forever, always. And I mean it. I wasn't always perfect. I tried my best. There were times, maybe I lost my temper and I wasn't perfect, but I always tried to be a good kid.
Oh,
it's
man.
a hard situation. It really is. And it's hard to feel like you always feel like you could have done more. But the fact that you feel that, and the fact that you still feel so strongly, just shows that you were doing the right thing. You were on the right path. Your heart is in the good place.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried.
All right. So
I said I wouldn't do this.
So earlier, when we started at the beginning, you wanted to become an artist, and
yes.
I think obviously it ran in the genes. Your Lola, had it, and she started painting. And can you recall that event, her painting, and then you joining her and yes. so forth?
Okay, yeah. So, to pick up the story right, we started painting because we were just watching Netflix every day, which is funny because it's 2020 and I finished Netflix. I'm done. I finished it. I'm working on YouTube now. I'm working there's so much content. I'm ahead I've seen this already. So I know how this is going to shake down. So we were just watching Netflix every day. And I think the point I knew, I was like, we got to do something else. Cause I was starting to quote Murder, She Wrote. We got to do something else. Well, we were sitting at the kitchen table, as our routine. We'd have breakfast at the kitchen table every morning. I cleared the plates and I asked her, "Okay, Lola, what do you want to do today?" And she said, "Something that is for a purpose." And I thought, okay, what can we do? I'd heard art therapy was a thing with seniors. Maybe there's something there. So I just, just on a whim, I got some watercolors and I brought them out. And, I think, maybe I did get it from my Lola. She never really painted before. That wasn't, her thing was baking and food. But I brought out some colors and we just gave it a shot. She painted these watercolor paintings and they, when they dried, I just thought, I always really loved to draw. And so I thought I'd add to them. I was learning so much about her story, and her life and the time that we were spending together. And I wanted to try and record that in some way, make sure, we were making memories and I was documenting everything. Cause I'm very Dory. I have a really bad memory. So I wanted to make sure we were making memories. And so, I took her drawings and I drew on them. I started drawing them based on her stories and her memories. And so that's what we do today. And that's why I call it the Lola and Kenneth collaboration. It's still a collaboration. I take my Lola's paintings and I finish everything she started.
How does the rest of your family feel about, keeping her life alive through the work you're doing?
Yeah. I think it's been good for my family. She, every village needs a queen. She was, my Lola's absolutely the queen in the family. And she I was thinking about my Lola, she never really had a glamorous job. She was a cashier. She, at one point, she lived in a family's house in Manila as a cook and cleaned while my mom was going through school. But she built such a life of a lot. She built a life full of love around her. And I don't know. I really look up to her in that way. I'm not swimming in my Scrooge pit of gold coins, but I want to live a life the way that she did, just filled with love. So, what was the question?
How does your family feel about?
How does the family feel? Right. It's been good. You know what? It's turned into this like family project. Like, so I have these Lola's favorite sweaters,
which is super awesome, by the way. I totally need to rock that.
yeah. So I have these Lola's favorite sweaters. It's turned into a family thing. My mom sewed on all the tags. My cousins help me out. They're like, oh, if you need a little help, just to be able to make the sweaters, let me know what I can do. I made these in like kid versions because my older cousin, I have a nephew, and she's like, oh, I want that on my kid. So, she helped me make the kid version of it. They've been really, really supportive. And it's been, I think it's been good. It feels like my Lola, she likes to corral us, and keep us together. And I feel sometimes like she's still doing that. And
it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Is there a you have the shirts, you have some prints and stuff available that I know that you have through the shop. Is there possible like a collected book maybe down the line with telling this story? Because I would love to purchase that.
Oh, thank you so much. That is my goal. I thought I was going to do it in 2020, but then 2020 happened, and so it didn't. So yes, my goal next year, I want to make a book, like an art book, kind of, maybe, I don't know, an art / maybe coffee table book or something. But it's basically all of our pieces. With the stories behind them, maybe stitched together in some sort of way that, tells a narrative. I want to just record and share the stories I know about my Lola and her life and our story together. So I'm working through, she made a lot of paintings. I'm trying to work my way through them. So I'll be doing a Kickstarter next year, I hope, 2021, to try and do this.
Please let us know.
Yeah, so we can help
promote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Contribute.
Oh. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hashtag all the things. We definitely want to show love.
I need this.
Thank you so much.
Before we hopped on, we were going through the artwork and just like gushing over everything. So
that's awesome. Thank you. It's weird for me. I still feel kind of like an imposter. Like,
no, you're not.
I really do. Like, I feel, because it's been actually, to be honest, like, I don't know. I haven't drawn in the past month maybe. And I always say, I feel like drawing is a muscle. Like, if you don't exercise it or a language, like if you don't use it, it's so easy to slip. And I want to learn. And I feel like, I don't have that education. I didn't study art. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn, just reading things online or taking tutorials and things. But I always feel like kind of an imposter when I like share some artwork or, a drawing or something. But
art is a learning process. Art is in so many different ways. So what you're doing is it's art, man. And I feel you. I a lot of times, I feel like I'm an imposter, and I've done a lot of things. I think it keeps you humble and it keeps you grounded, and just go with it. But bro, you are so amazing. And no, man, you've got it. It's there, and you've reached people with what you're doing. And I have to tell you personally, as a filmmaker, which, and I'm an actor and all that, but when I saw this story, I'm actually looking for stories to do, and the ladies will tell you, and this will actually clear off the Patrick Strange Uno game for today, or what is it, crossword?
Yeah, we have a bingo sheet. We're gonna
so I'm gonna give them their bingo right now. One of the stories I want to tell is the Battle of Mactan and the story of Lapu Lapu. And my Lapu Lapu is, again, here's for the game. I want to have Xavi de Guzman, who was a guest on the show, beautiful actor, long, glorious hair. He was on CDW's 100. He's going to be my Lapu Lapu. And then hopefully George Isaac will play Magellan, because we're going to kill that colonizer. But Oscar Isaac is beautiful, but he's perfect.
Who's George Isaac?
Oh, Oscar Isaac. Oh my God. Anyway, so
There's a George Isaac out there who just got really excited.
No, literally.
The dreams. He's like, finally, I'm in a movie.
Slide in our DMs.
Yeah, you're gonna get all these DMs from George Isaac. But sorry, you were.
yeah, so I want to tell that story. That is going to be my big epic because that's going to cost a lot of money. But I've been talking to other filmmakers, Patricio Janelsa, who did Lumpia with a Vengeance, who's been on the show and, you know, has done a lot of work. He and I've been going back and forth, and I've been pulling out old scripts. But another thing, when I came across your story, I was so inspired. And so I don't know if Hollywood has reached out to you, bro. I want to put my bid in. I think it's beautiful. And I'm so inspired, and I love your story, and you are creating art. You're not an imposter. That's what I want to say. Yeah, you're just, man, just keep doing what you're doing, and just grow from here. She's gonna I think in a way, you know, it was her wanting you to get back to what you really enjoyed in a way too. What did you say, Ates? Like, it was, you were kind of doing what we as generations, you know, kind of put on our people, our young, but I think your Lola knew what you really wanted to do. And I'm starting to lose it.
This is your art school. Like, she is teaching you the things you really need to know. You know, you don't need to go through a formal education to be passionate and be talented. You just need to follow your path. And she's laid one out for you. And like, oh God, okay, hold on, let me do this. So my grandfather was a writer, but he wasn't really a writer because he never really got published. He published a few like articles and stuff, but he had a lot of like books he was constantly working on, or short stories he was constantly working on. And as I was a kid and I kind of grew up around that, like I read a lot of pieces, but you know, he had to work other jobs. It wasn't like the main thing that he got to do. And I'm kind of a writer too, but in the same way, like I work, I'm a teacher, I have other jobs that I have to do. And when he passed, one of the things that I got was all of his books, all of his things. And it was so funny because he was really technologically savvy for an old guy. Like, he built his own computers and everything. He was way ahead of the curve, but he never trusted them. So he also printed them all out. I'm just like sitting around in folders. And I actually have, some of my family has been like, well, why don't you finish his stories or like go through and put together a collection? And it's been really hard for me to even look at them. And so here's what you've done has been like, just really, really important. Sorry.
Virtual hugs, everyone. Virtual hugs. Oh my gosh. Love you guys.
In the same way, like when he died, I didn't write for like 3 years at all. And it just was too hard. And I thought, like, you lost it. Like, this is just a hobby. This is a thing you did when you were younger, and you're not going to do this anymore. Like, you have to be a grown up. And then I think as I did grow up, I realized that I can do both. Like, this is who I am. And I think that you found that. And so I totally understand feeling like an imposter, and you're not really probably ever going to be able to shake that, but you're not. And, we see it. So.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really, wow. That's beautiful that you have that connection and you have that shared, that craft that you have with your grandfather. The way I think, hearing you talk about it, it reminds me of, when I saw Moana in the theater, which was a big mistake.
Yes.
Like crying in public. So hearing about, your story with your grandfather reminds me the way I feel about, grandparents when you have that kind of relationship. There's that scene where she's running into the ocean and getting on her boat, and her grandma's spirit, when she passes, gives her a pushes her past the current and out into the sea. And
that makes me cry every single time.
Yes. I was like, don't mind me, I'm okay. Just everyone keep watching the movie.
Sing, cry, sing again.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that, I even would listen to the soundtracks and like,
yeah, absolutely. Oh man. That's really a beautiful thing that you have that connection with him in the writing. Wow, that's wonderful.
Okay, I like that you mentioned imposter syndrome, and I've been in my notes from previous sessions because it comes up a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I was looking because I every time someone says something that resonates, I write it down.
Oh, cool.
And the thing that I found was no bitch, I'm gonna cut you. Thank you, Ate.
Was that Elaine?
Yes, Elaine from
Elaine Delalis said,
American.
"You feel like an imposter. No, bitch, I'll cut you." So just keep those
Yeah.
inspiring words in mind.
when we were talking about that. And behind that, I didn't write more than that. But the message behind that was to own your space and to own your voice because it is yours. And then
Box
it
out.
makes you feel less, no bitch, I'm gonna cut you. So
I love
We're family now. We cried and bonded, so we'll.
I love that. Cool. Okay. I like that. Yeah. Own your space. You got to play zone. You got to box out. Okay. That's really cool. That's cool. I'm going to remember that one.
Mm.
yeah. Well, okay, everybody take a deep breath.
Calm moment.
Okay, so you have you know we're all still in quarantine, and you have the paintings that she's left you to work on. You've got the plans for the books. What else have you got? Looking forward into a hopefully so much better 2021.
Nice. I really haven't thought about anything else. I don't know. I'm really, really focused on this, and I think especially because I feel bad that I haven't drawn in a little bit, in a minute. I really want to get back to it. That's what I want to do. I feel like the tagline that I have for our collaboration is, my Lola makes the paintings. I promise to finish everything she starts, and so that's really where my head and my heart are right now. So 2021 really is okay, Lola. I'm going to finish everything that we started together, and I'm going to make this book. I haven't thought out farther than that. That's really where my head is. And Usher's on a break, so there's no. So until he goes back on tour again, there's no audition for me to get cut from.
Your schedule's clear.
Yeah, no, that's great that you have like that focus.
Cool, thank you. I have my nose to the grindstone. That's why it's flat.
So we're going to continue working on the Lola and Kenneth collaboration, finishing out the pieces, putting together this book.
Yep.
I love it. And we are going to be here to support you, cheerlead you on, and do everything we can as this Kickstarter campaign. And like I said, I want to have the first dibs on that script to tell your story in Hollywood, man, if I could.
Oh, man. Okay.
So
awesome.
We do a special thing, as you've seen in our previous episodes, because we are the nerds of color. Tina, go ahead. I'm gonna throw it to you now.
Oh, so no, you do it.
She's so reluctant. Nerd check. Okay, so you have to give a TED talk on any nerdy interest or passion that you have. What's your topic? What are you be talking about?
Right. Well, first of all, I'm going to show up on Filipino time for this TED Talk. Yeah.
And then lie to you about what time it starts because we planned ahead.
Yes, we do that too. Yeah. Gotcha. Oh man, that's hilarious. My cousins, my sister, they do that. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah. So then I'm gonna arrive like 15 minutes late, and then I'm gonna talk about how important it is to be punctual. Or
All right, it'll be fresh in my mind.
It'll be fresh in my mind. No, I've been okay. So I kind of, spoiler or cheater alert. I've seen a few episodes of this, and I was dreading this question because I realized I have drunk so much Snapple this week trying to trying to learn things. Like, what do I even know? And I realized, gosh, I feel like, is there a type of person where, okay, I don't think I'm a master. I don't know anything well enough to TED talk about it. But let's say if I'm going to make a major purchase, I go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to make a spreadsheet. I'm going to compare all the different models.
You're a research nerd.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love that. Spreadsheet people are a different breed, man. Y'all
That is the thing.
Y'all are too advanced.
Spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet nerd.
I haven't updated my Excel. Is that the next? That was really Filipino. You have the spreadsheet open. You're going to copy paste. that one. That's kind of butting. Make sure you use that function equal sign.
Oh my god. No, research rabbit holes totally count. I do this thing when I'm eating a food. I do it by myself. I don't do it when I'm with other people. I like to Google the food that I'm eating while I'm eating it so I can learn about this food. I want to know everything about apples while I'm eating apples. Like, this is important to me.
Okay. Wait. I feel like I do that, but with Yelp reviews. Like, do I 5-star enjoy this food? Like, I'll be eating something and I'm enjoying it, and then I don't know. I like check how many like Yelp. Like,
I don't know. What does everyone else think? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. Should I be liking this as much as I do? Well, let's check. Oh, they take Apple Pay. Like,
Too peppery. I don't know.
Okay, like I said, so now, like I've seen a few episodes now. Tina, whenever I put pepper on something,
Oh my god.
I'm so bougie.
Don't
Right?
Call me. Patrick's all like, I put patis on my rice. And I'm like, pepper.
I watched that. I don't remember what episode it was. I watched it and I made corned beef.
That is our comfort food.
It is. I added pepper.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did the cracked pepper.
And
Cracked
it has to have
pepper.
pepper in it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, yeah, go for it. Season your life.
Yeah, at least it's pepper and not butter. My mom says that's for white people. So
Butter is for white people.
butter on your rice.
It is. My sister. Sorry, I'm on a tangent. But my sister, she went to basketball camp, and then she came back, and she showed us. She's like, "You guys, they put butter on the rice." And that's the first time that I tried it. I had butter. Yeah, that was the first time I tried butter on rice and learned about that was a thing. But yeah, interesting.
I'm gonna throw myself under. I grew up with a single mom, but I grew up with I'm mestiza. I grew up with my white family. So our go-to like snack that I had to make for my brother, because that's how it goes, was boil a bag rice. We didn't own a rice cooker, with lots of butter. Like that was the thing we ate growing up.
Is it like Land O'Lakes? Like, what do you go with? Like, what's it?
Actually, it was actually, can't believe it's not butter, because we didn't get real butter at the house. So it was actually margarine boil a bag rice.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it's like growing up. That my family's from Tennessee. That's what Tennessee is like as a state. That's the state.
That was always an inside joke at our house, because one time my mom left the butter on the table when we were having the full Filipino spread with all the food in the middle of the table.
Yes, in the middle.
We make our own plates.
Yes.
And my sisters are like, "Oh, why is there butter on the table? Why is there butter?" And she's like, "I don't know. Put it on your rice." And then everyone's like, "Who puts butter on their rice?" And my cousin interjects, and he's like, "White people." and my dad is white, so like he's just like, even he's like, ugh.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the other day I just put rice and butter in the yard, and then all these white people came.
Like, oh, this is for us.
Yeah, brings all the white people to the yard. We love you. Thank you for your things. We love oat milk. Thank you.
Your beautiful culture and beautiful country.
Thank you for opening food trucks with making the food that you ridiculed me for when I was a kid.
Ooh, all right, now too real.
Yeah. You remember all those feelings that we had earlier?
Yeah. Oh man.
All right.
Oh, the question. Oh, my nerd thing, my TED Talk.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
My TED Talk. So if I had to do it like right now, the rabbit hole that I'm in right now is all the rules and regulations about what needs to go on a printed tag.
There are rules.
Wait, hold on.
And regulations.
There are not only rules, there are regulations. They will regulators.
So wait, give
us a taste of this TED Talk. Yes, I need to know.
I'll give you a little taste, a little Costco taste test of it. So let's say if you rip out the tag, if you want to put in your own label on a t-shirt, as people do, then you need to print out, it's called an RN number. this is going to be such great clickbait. I'm so sorry. So you need to get an RN number, which means you've read. Why do I know all this? You've registered with the FTC to get your unique identifying number, which says I am the person who ripped out the tag and I'm putting my own logo in it. So you can look up online. If you look on your t-shirts that you have on home, there should be an RN number. Otherwise, you are looking at your shirt from inside a jail cell. No, I don't know. No. There should be an RN number so you can look up online on the FTC website, like, oh, who made this shirt? Who was responsible? Where did the shirt come from?
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's like one of those, it's like Diagon Alley. I never knew it, the leaky cauldron. I never knew it was there until I had to look for it.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna clip this and put it on TikTok so that every Etsy seller who sees it can just start sweating.
There it is. You see, yeah, and when markets, like farmers markets become a thing again, if you see them start, if you just mention RN number and if they sweat, you know.
Did you take this tag off a shirt?
Did you take a tag off a shirt? Yeah.
Oh man, that is really interesting.
Yeah, why do I?
This is great.
Yeah, Kat's like a trivia nerd. Oh, I loved her so.
I hope that comes up at a pub quiz. May that lead you to victory.
Yes.
Oh my God, Kenneth, thank you.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, so that's the rabbit hole I'm in right now.
All right, Kenneth. Again, thank you for what you're doing with the Lola and Kenneth collaboration. You are a tremendous light. I love your vibe, love your soul, love this energy. And however we can be a part of it to help spread the word. I know me and the Ates are definitely down to do that. Thank you for your time, man. Ates, let's sign off.
Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On all the socials, on Instagram, on Lola X Kenneth. The website is lolaxkenneth.com. Facebook, for the aunties who still use it, it is the Lola X Kenneth collaboration on Facebook. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Salamat po.
Salamat.
You are so amazing, man. And thank you for everything.
You too. Thank you. I'm just really excited and happy. Like, thanks for having me on your show. This was super, super fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. This is really good.
All right, there we go. That was Kenneth Tan of the Lola and Kenneth collaboration. Such an amazing story, such a true soul of a vibe of energy that you can just feed off of, and love it. What did you think, ladies?
I'm still in my feels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that's the first time a guest has gotten all three.
Yes. And I see much crying in the future because I think we're all gotten so very sensitive now, and just it's so inspiring, and so just especially that child Lola relationship. I think we all know how important our Lolas are to us, and Lolos, and
that's just such an important tenet, I think, of Filipino culture is the family, and is the service to family, and the younger generation supporting the older generation, and the older generation encouraging the younger generation. So that really hit home for me. So it was poignant.
Yes. So before we all cry again, because we're still all in our feels, maraming salamat po to Kenneth Tan. Again, thank you for bringing your light and your energy and for what you are doing. And we see kind of, it's still fresh with you. And if we can be a support for you there, we are here for you, because you are amazing. And this is what your Lola wanted you to do now. So, oh man, I'm starting to feel it again, because I feel it in so many ways that's, like we said earlier, when we went through his story, that was kind of his path that he wanted to pursue. But, he did what all of us kids do. We did what our parent told us to do, because that's where the money's at and all that. But, there's our personal dream, but we kind of put it to the side because of everything else. So I am sure you are living her dream now, and this is what she wanted. And just keep doing you, man. And just thank you for joining us. Let's sign off before we cry again. Tina, hit us off with how they can track you down.
So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at viva.valentina. and Viva Valentina XO on Twitter and chess.com. So check it out.
And I am Cataphoric. You can hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. Also have a TikTok, and we have a TikTok at ShowPow Show. You can also support us and get a little bit more behind the scenes footage by checking our Patreon, or maybe just helping us out by buying us a coffee.
Yes, yes. Thank you all. As always, this is all about the community. This is why we do this. So we appreciate the support and love you, Ates. I am Kuyapi, aka Patrick Michael Strange. You can follow me at Strange since 1977 because I've been strange that long, and at Temple Far East. One of those Twitter, one of those Instagrams, and our main sites that are home to the ShowPow Show, at the Nerds of Color. That's at the Nerds of Color everywhere, and at New Release Wednesday, and at the NRW, because nerds rule the world. We are out of here for today. Thank you again for joining us. Stay tuned for more episodes from the ShowPow Show. This is for the community. This is for the people. This is for the culture, because we are all Barkada. Love y'all. Mahakita. Salamat.
Mahakita din.
So crazy. I feel like I'm talking through. I was just watching you on YouTube the other day. Now I'm like, I'm in the TV, I'm in the tube, and I'm talking to you guys. This is crazy.
Dude, thank you, man. You are awesome, bro. Yeah.
Oh, like TV and Willy Wonka.
I don't like that movie.
Yeah.
I'm Mikey. I'm in yeah, no, thank you. I'm so excited. I don't even know like the magic of the internet. I'm just excited. Like, I don't know how we all got connected.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, it's been really exciting working on this so far and getting to talk to so many different people. Like,
how long have we been doing this? I feel
not that long. It feels like such an integrated part of my life and my planner now, but
because this is all we do, Patrick.
I'm sorry.
Wow. No worries. This was really, really fun. This was such a good experience. You guys are so great.
Thank you.
It's really cool. I've been watching the show. I really love like, I learn a lot. Yeah.
I'm always shocked when someone actually seen it.
Like, oh, yeah, we know
things. Oh, that goes like a public? Like,
yeah, it's out there. It's live. Like, yeah. So I really love it. That is the most epic Lumpia purchase I have ever seen in the beginning. Like,
thank you.
Go buy the Lumpia. It is not that dramatic when I do it. I'm gonna try and model that though. I would love to see like Tina and I don't know what you're doing. Like you're buying a scratcher or like I don't.
I definitely want to get them in because they are down in Virginia Beach and I'm in DC. We weren't able to record the.
Yeah, that was the pilot first season.
That second season intro. That'll be
yes.
Okay, you could do like
Eskrima b-boy dancing.
The '90s thing where they look over their shoulder. Yeah, b-boy dancing.
We're gonna get it all in.
Filipino martial arts.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
We're gonna have all that in there. Thank you so much, Kenneth.
No problem. If you need to air Dante Bosco's in place of this, I totally understand. I totally get it.
You're totally gonna tell him.
We're gonna specifically bring you up.
And this guy you don't know.
I love that.
Much love, bro. It was a pleasure. Thank you.